Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Garret once again. This is me, Les Oman. Hopefully, I'm live this time. Can never guarantee these things. If you were watching last time, you would know that that's the case. Now, it's been pointed out to me that there's actually a facility at the side of the screen that has comments. So, if anyone wants to send me comments, I might be able to read them now. Although I'm not guaranteeing that either, because you need to be a bit of a multitasker for that, but I'll do my best. Yep, we'll get started. We've got 3 original songs and a cover, just the usual format. Thanks, Steve. Happy Friday back to you. So I'm getting the hang of this already. So this first song I'm going to do is it's a kind of an account after the event of something that happened when we were on a family holiday many years ago up in Wester Ross. There was it's a long-ish story, so I'll try and cut to the chase. Essentially, there was a French lady was doing some wild swimming in Loch Ewe, which wasn't particularly a thing at the time, but she was doing it anyway, and she got into great difficulty, and I was one of the people that were rounded up to try and get her out of the water. She was lying in the shallows, but she was in very bad shape. So, I mean, we did rescue her, and all I did was take some of the weight. I mean, it was the guys that were in the Coast Guard, the local guys, that deserve all the credit, but she's kind of haunted me ever since, this woman. I don't know very much about her. Her name was Chantal, and I know that she ended up back in Paris again a couple of days after this, so she was obviously none the worse. But the last I saw her was getting hoisted up in the Coast Guard helicopter and taken to the hospital in Inverness. But anyway, this is my song which came out after this, called Chantal on the Rocks, and I've nicked a traditional Irish tune which I'm very fond of. It's a Gaelic tune from Donegal, I think, called Cúnlach Glas an Ore, which I think means the green stubble fields of autumn. But I've kind of, I suppose I've abused it in a way, because it's a beautiful slow air, but I've kind of tried to disguise that aspect. Anyway, this is Chantal on the Rocks, so hope you like it. You look so small there in the water, Chantal. I don't know what to think. Your colour drained and body broken, Chantal. I don't know what to do. Swimming with the cold green angels, Chantal, what went through your mind? Happy for them to beguile you, Chantal. Do you recall? There was no pulse, you weren't breathing, Chantal. We thought that you were gone, then suddenly your chest was heaving, Chantal. You were hanging on, legs so bruised and head a bleeding, Chantal. You would turn so cold. Then we heard your quiet moaning, Chantal, we knew there was still hope. And as we pulled you from the water, Chantal, your body, it seemed so light. I was afraid that we might drop you, Chantal, on the rocks so black. Well, we'll never meet, but I won't forget you, Chantal. You return to France. I hope you're safe and sound on dry land. Chantal, let your nightmare pass. Chantal, let your nightmare pass. That was Chantal on the Rocks. So a couple of people in there. There's my good friend Mr. Anderson up in Tarbert. How you doing? Nice to see you. And Chris, alright, definitely live. That's good to know. All this trying to get songs ready for these monthly torture sessions, it makes you kind of search up in the attic and all the song drawers and everything and see what you can come up with that you've not done before. So I found this song, which was written when I was still a student actually. I think it's only been performed once in public before, but in those days students didn't really get jobs as baristas and things like that. There wasn't coffee shops on every corner, so we had to do things like cut grass, etc. So I was doing that at an area in Glasgow, going around all the schools, cutting the grass, and I met this old boy. He was a lollipop man, but he used to work in the shipyards in his day. He was a very wise old man and as hard as nails, but he told me the first time I met him, I made some tea for him, made a wee bothy at the school he was in, and he told me that his tin mug that he had there was just had been with him for 40 odd years, and they didn't make them like that anymore. So I've basically used the story of his tin mug being indestructible as the kind of foundations for this song, but the character in it actually isn't this old guy who was called Peter the Pop Man. He was more fortunate, and he was still a great old character, working in his 70s as a school patrol crossing man, a lollipop man. But this is probably about one of his less fortunate colleagues. So this is called Old Tin Mug. We'll see if we can get it to work. Take it from me, son, he said with a sigh. They don't make them like that one anymore. That battered old tin mug has surely seen some service, been bashed and chipped and scalded until its sides were sore. And if only it could talk, well, it could tell a few good stories of the life that it has seen over the last 40-odd years. 40 years with me now, through the good times and the bad, since that very day I started my first job as a lad. Well, times were really hard then, even tougher than today. If you'd work, you sweated blood for some pathetic pay. I worked among the shipyards that stood along the Clyde, through the cruel cold of winter and the long, long summer's nights. I dream of all the great ships that were born upon the Clyde. In memory I see the queens that sailed the oceans wide. But time stands still for no man, and our industry declined. One by one the yards closed, locking memories inside. Now I look out of my window and I see the black cranes stand, like great decaying dinosaurs, where once they looked so grand. It still makes me feel bitter that in spite of all our fights, we were sold right down that river. We were sold right down the Clyde. So here you see me standing, dumped at 58. No chance of employment, left to my own fate. So I just sit in the house most days, reduced to drinking tea, and we mourn the death of Clydeside, my old tin mug and me. Yes, we mourn the death of Clydeside, my old tin mug and me. That's Old Tin Mug. So, the Spanish Inquisition. Okay. Hi, Junior. I'm seeing you there. Just see, I told you it's difficult, this multitasking, but we'll see where we go. Thank you. So I'm doing a cover now, and I hope you'll just feel kind of tempted to join in. I'm going slightly out of my comfort zone here because this song is largely written in Dundonian, which I'm not completely fluent in, but I think you pick it up fairly easily. It was covered quite recently by Loudon Wainwright III, and he managed to get a spot-on translation out of Dundonian into American without any difficulty. So if you're puzzled afterwards, you can maybe Google that one, Loudon Wainwright's version, if any of the words don't make any sense. there's probably a couple I should tell you. Lebre is library, and Hermless is the name of the song. It was written by the great Michael Mara, the Bard of Lochee. And just in case you're wondering, Hermless, if you're not from these parts, and particularly if you're not from Dundee, Hermless means harmless, of course. And apparently the bold Michael actually volunteered this song as a potential Scottish national anthem, so it's a pity it didn't actually catch fire, but you never know. This is Hermless, so you can pick it up as you go along, and just sing along. I don't need to teach you it. You're adults, most of you. So, with my hand in my heart and my heart in my mouth, with hands that can reach o'er the sea, my feet might be big, but the insects are safe. They never get stood on by me. Harmless, harmless, there's never nae bother frae me. Again to the library, I pick up a book, and then I go home for my tea. I save all the coupons that come with the soup, and when I have saved 53, I put 50 awa and throw 3 in a drawer. Then something gets posted to me. Harmless, harmless, there's never nae bother frae me. When I'm tilt and I tidy my room, then I go in for my tea. There's yin or twa lads that I could cry my chums. They're canny and meek as can be. There's Rabways pigeons and Samways mice, and we will be Ranny and me. Harmless, harmless, there's never no bother frae me. Nobody can if I was nae there, and I didn't come down for my tea. Harmless, harmless, there's never nae bother frae me. Nobody'd notice if I was nae there, if I didn't go down for my tea. Harmless, with my apologies for my fingers going in the wrong directions a couple of times. And I'm dedicating that one to my 2 daughters who have fond memories of it from primary school, that song. It's right on their hit list, so that's for Tina and Rosie. And that's us. We're rapidly moving on towards the last song here. I better just have a... yeah, we're getting a quote here from a Ninga Na 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 here, which is another Michael Mara classic, which I'd love to be able to sing, but you have to get a bit funky for that, and I'm too old for that. So this next one is it's another oldie which keeps popping out of my song drawer from time to time and becomes in different sort of arrangements and permutations. Although I've lived more than half my life in Kintyre, my big secret is I was actually born in Glasgow and lived for the first 20 odd years there, but my family are from Kintyre, and of course I always wanted to move down there. So I got my wish, but I wasn't quite ready for stuff like storm force winds and electricity going out for a week and all sorts of things. So I had to learn a few quick lessons and kind of basic first world survival problems. So this is a song called The West Coast of Kintyre. So this is my last one. So I want to thank Dave for doing the sound and linking me up to this StreamYard or whatever it's called. I can never actually remember what it's called. And just before I go any further, on Monday it's Kevin Byer that's on in the same slot, so don't miss Kev. And I'll leave you with this one, and this is Les Oman saying good night. I forgot I had coffee and it's probably cold now, so it's almost palatable. So anyway, this is the West Coast of Kintyre. Vicious Mother Nature whipped her gales on high as the snow came drifting inland from the southwest, and the grey sea at the cold sand. So stood upon the shore, wondering what I was doing in all the madness on the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. On the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. Vicious Mother Nature, you had me running scared. In the wind and rain and snow I sought for shelter, but my cold and frightened body had no place to hide as I tried to keep my feet in all the madness on the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. On the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. Vicious Mother Nature, you took away my heat as you took away my light to face the darkness. So the early morning finds me having beaten the retreat to my bed, but not to sleep in all the madness on the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. On the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. Vicious Mother Nature, you had me running scared. Surely had a laugh. Do that one again. Vicious Mother Nature. nature. You surely had a laugh. The boy down from the city in the teeth of the gale, born to the street lights, naive about the sea, trying to make some sense of all the madness on the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. On the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane, one horizontal gale. The west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. On the west coast of Kintyre in the hurricane. Thanks very much for listening. I've been Les Oman. In fact, I hope to still be Les Oman once I finish this. And with all things being equal, we'll see you sometime next month. Thanks for watching, and take care. And remember, it's going to be Kevin Bayer on Monday. So that's me. Good night.